The main headwater for the water purification stations in the Taoyuan area comes from the Shihmen Reservoir. The Shihmen Reservoir water supply system is divided into 4 parts, including direct supply from the reservoir area, supply from the after bay, water supply from the Yuyuanshan after discharge from after bay, and supply from the Zhongzhuang retention basin. Among them, the part directly supplied by the Shihmen Reservoir includes the Shihmen Canal water intake point and the multi-level intake. The Shihmen Canal water intake point is located on the mountainside of the left bank of the Shihmen Dam. The water drawn flows through Shihmen Canal, and besides supplying agricultural water to the Shihmen Irrigation Association organization, it also supplies domestic water to the Longtan, Pingzhen, and Shihmen water purification stations. The multi-level intake is located between the Ishan Pavilion and the Shihmen Canal water intake point, with 3 different elevation intake points. The water taken is sent to Shihmen Canal or Taoyuan Canal through pipelines. The Taoyuan Canal water intake point is located on the left bank of After Bay. The water drawn flows through Taoyuan Canal, and besides supplying agricultural water to the Taoyuan Irrigation Association organization, it also supplies domestic water to the Danan water purification station and others. The second raw water pumping station is located on the upstream side of the Taoyuan Canal water intake point on the left bank of After Bay. The pumped raw water is directly supplied to the Pingzhen water purification station through the Sankang pumping station, then distributed to the Longtan water purification station. The Yuyuanshan Weir is located on the Danan River downstream of the reservoir. On the left bank, an intake point supplies raw water to the Danan water purification station, while the intake point on the right bank supplies raw water to the Banshin water purification station. The Zhongzhuang retention basin is located on the abandoned riverbed on the left bank of the Danan River downstream of the reservoir. The Zhongzhuang Weir is set up in the Danan River to divert water. Its main function is to serve as an alternative water source for the Yuyuanshan Weir when typhoons cause increased turbidity in the reservoir and Danan River, supplying raw water to the Danan and Banshin water purification stations. The Taoyuan water supply area includes Linkou, Taoyuan, Zhongli, Pingzhen, Badar, Yangmei, Dashi, Luzhu, Daiyuan, Guishan, Longtan, Xinwu, Guanyin, and parts of Fuxing. As of the end of 2020, the number of water supply households is more than 920,000, and the average water supply coverage rate in the region is about 96.12%. The early water supply system in the Longtan area was the Jian system, established in 1957. It was created to solve the water needs of the office and dormitories of the Shihmen Reservoir Construction Committee. Its source was the artesian spring water from Datie Kang, with a designed water output of 1,400 cubic meters per day. Another water supply system in the Longtan area is the Longtan system. The Longtan water purification station was established in 1971. In 1974, the Jian and Longtan water supply systems were interconnected and merged into the Longtan water supply system. Subsequent expansion projects in 1975 and 1986 increased the output to 45,000 cubic meters per day. The Longtan water purification station supply area covers the Longtan district, Dashi district, Sanmen village in Fuxing district, the Longtan Science Park, parts of Pingzhen district in Dongshi, and Xiaoxing New village in Badar district. The water purification equipment of Longtan Water Purification Station includes a distribution well, 2 coagulation basins, 1 flocculation basin, 3 sedimentation tanks, 3 rapid sand filters, chemical tanks, a chemical control room, and clear water reservoirs. There are also wastewater sedimentation tanks, wastewater regulation basins, and dewatering houses. Water is drawn from the Sankang raw water pumping station to the Longtan water purification station, pumped to the distribution well, and then a coagulant is added before it flows to the coagulation basin. Through stirring by the flocculator, small flocks combine into larger, heavier flocks, then flow through the collecting channel into 3 sedimentation tanks for settling. Next, it enters the rapid sand filters to filter out small impurities and microorganisms in the water. After that, it flows into the clear water reservoir, where chlorine is added for disinfection. Through the Longtan and Dashi water distribution systems, it is delivered to various areas. The Shimen Water Purification Station was completed in 1964 and belongs to the Pingzhen water treatment plant. The designed water output of the Shimen Water Purification Station is 50,000 cubic meters per day. The second phase of expansion, completed in 1973, increased the designed output to 100,000 cubic meters per day. In 1983, water purification equipment was improved, and the designed output was increased to 120,000 cubic meters per day. A raw water reservoir with a capacity of 500,000 cubic meters was set up as a combat readiness reservoir, and pump storage power station and pressure pumping stations were added. The water purification equipment of the Shimen Water Purification Station includes a raw water reservoir, coagulation basin, flocculation basin, sedimentation tank, rapid sand filter, clear water reservoir, sludge pools A and B, waste material storage area, wastewater basin, chemical control room, and the Huanding lateral canal of Shimen Canal, among other facilities. The water purification process of the Shimen Water Purification Station starts with raw water flowing through the coagulation basin, then into the flocculation basin, sedimentation tank, rapid sand filter, and clear water reservoir, and is delivered to various areas through the water distribution system. The Danan Water Purification Station was established in January 1981, located on the north side of the Taoyuan Canal, occupying about 5 hectares. Initially, its maximum water output was 150,000 cubic meters per day. In 1991, the second phase of expansion was completed, bringing the total designed water output of phases 1 and 2 to 300,000 cubic meters per day. In 2013, the third phase of expansion was completed, increasing the water output to 450,000 cubic meters per day. The supply area of the Danan Water Purification Station includes administrative regions such as Taoyuan, Badar, Daiyuan, Luzhu, Guishan, Linkou districts, as well as areas like Linkou Industrial Park, Taoyuan International Airport, etc. The Danan Water Purification Station has a water intake point at the 21.5-kilometer point of Taoyuan Canal, and a second intake point on the left bank of the Yuanshan Weir for pumping water. Water is transported to the purification station through a 10 kilometers long, 1,500 millimeters diameter water pipeline via the Jianshan Relay Booster Station. Additionally, when the raw water turbidity in the Dahan River is high, the Zhongshuang Retention Basin serves as an auxiliary source for raw water to the Danan Water Purification Station. The equipment at the Danan Water Purification Station includes raw water pumping wells, raw water intake wells, grit removal tanks, sand mixing tanks, silting basins, coagulation basins, flocculation basins, sedimentation tanks, rapid sand filters, clear water reservoirs, wastewater treatment facilities, chemical control towers and chemical tanks, electromechanical facilities, and management buildings, etc. After entering the purification station, the raw water flows through the raw water pumping well, into the raw water intake well, then to the grit removal tank, through the sand mixing tank, into the silting basin, then to the coagulation basin, via the flocculation basin, into the sedimentation tank, then into the rapid sand filter, and after filtration through the clear water channel and out of the well, it flows into the clear water reservoir. After chlorine is added for disinfection in the clear water reservoir, it is distributed to various places in Taoyuan through the water distribution system. The Pingzhen Water Purification Station is located in the Pingzhen Industrial Park of Taoyuan. The first phase of water purification equipment was completed in 1995, consisting of high-speed flocculation clarifiers paired with hardened filter beds. The designed water output is 600,000 cubic meters per day, with an actual output of about 580,000 cubic meters per day. In 2002, The second phase of water purification equipment was established, consisting of a traditional coagulation sedimentation water purification treatment unit, along with a 72,000 cubic meters primary sedimentation tank and a 100,000 cubic meters clear water reservoir. The supply area of the Pingzhen water purification station includes administrative regions such as Zhongli, Pingzhen, Yangmei, Taoyuan, Hsinchu, Guanyin, Hukou, Xinfeng, as well as the four major industrial parks of Zhongli, Pingzhen, Taoyuan, and Guanyin, also supporting the Danan and Longtan water purification stations. The Pingzhen water purification station draws water from the Shimen Canal water intake point and also from the second raw water pumping station located on the upstream side of the Taoyuan Canal water intake point on the left bank of After Bay. The water is supplied to the Pingzhen water purification station via the Sankang pumping station. The water purification equipment of the Pingzhen water purification station includes a primary sedimentation tank, distribution well, 4 high-speed flocculation clarifiers from Phase 1, 8 hardened rapid sand filters from Phase 1, 4 flocculation basins from Phase 2, 8 sedimentation tanks from Phase 2, 12 rapid sand filters from Phase 2, and 2 clear water reservoirs. Additionally, there are wastewater regulation basins, wastewater recycling tanks, 2 wastewater sedimentation tanks, 3 wastewater thickeners, and 4 sets of plate and frame sludge dewatering equipment. In the Pingzhen water purification station's purification process, raw water first enters the primary sedimentation tank, flows through the distribution well, and after adding coagulant, the water is sent separately to the high-speed flocculation clarifiers of Phase 1. It then flows into the hardened rapid sand filters, and is sent to the Phase 2 flocculation basins, sedimentation tanks, and rapid sand filters, filtering out fine impurities and microorganisms in the water. It then flows into the clear water reservoir, where chlorine is added for disinfection, and is distributed to various places in Taoyuan through the water distribution system. The main water supply in the Taoyuan area comes from the Longtan, Shimen, Danan, and Pingzhen water purification stations, with the Shimen Reservoir being the main headwater for these stations. Additionally, the Shimen Reservoir is part of the North-to-South Water Diversion policy, with the Feitsui Reservoir supporting Taoyuan's water supply, and the Shimen Reservoir supporting Hsinchu's water supply. In recent years, climate change, typhoons, droughts, and other water shortage issues have been global challenges. Today, we can turn on the tap and have clean, abundant water, all thanks to the experts and predecessors who have silently contributed to the construction of public water supply systems.